Hello and thank you for coming to my channel. This is Rick's Garage and today we're going to continue to work on the iXO collections of Willys Jeep. Pack 15, stages 71 to 75. Now I put a link in the descriptions and a QR code on screen that will take you right over to iXO collections if you'd like to get this for yourself. But without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, in stage 71, we got some details to put onto the body of the Jeep. So let's get these parts out. Okay, so I'm going to bring over the Jeep, like so, and then I get a bit of a close-up look over here. Okay, now the first parts that we need are these two parts looking like this. And they are different, and they are labeled. If you look on the back, you'll see one has an L printed on it, and this one has an R printed on it. So this is the left side of the Jeep, so I'm going to use this part here with the L printed on it. And you'll also notice that there is a ledge right here on the back. That's going to align up with the edge on the back of the Jeep. So what we're going to do is we're going to position this over these two holes right here, just like that. And we're going to secure that in with the WM screw. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side of the Jeep. Okay, and that's how that looks on the right side. And we'll turn the Jeep around. And that's how it looks on the left side. Okay, next we have these pieces here, and they call these the pivot brackets. And these are also out of plastic. And they're going to go into these two holes right here. Now they also have an L and an R stamped on them, telling you which side of the Jeep that they go in. This one's the left one, so we're on the left. And this is going to go right there. And we're going to hold that in with two WM screws. Okay, that's the one on the left. And we're now going to put the other one on the right side of the Jeep. And this one's going on the right. Get that one started. And we'll put the screw in on the top. Now, even though this is going in metal, it's going through plastic, so I'm only screwing this in until I feel resistance. Like that. And it's nice and firm. Okay, next two steps are going to be a little tricky because we're going to take this little tiny part here and we're going to put it in like this on the top of the back of this bracket through that hole. And then we're going to secure that in with these C-clamps on the back. So this is going to be tricky, and you're definitely going to need your magnifying glasses for this. Okay, now I saw somebody do this trick once before on a video. I can't remember where I saw it. But when he had to do a C-clamp that was on a sprue, he kept the C-clamp on the sprue and then pushed it onto the lug that the part had to go on. And then he cut the C-clamp off of that sprue. Well, my C-clamp is on. It's still on the sprue, but it is attached. Now I'm going to see if I can't cut that off. Unfortunately, I can't do that on camera because it's so fiddly, and I have to get up real close. But when I come back, hopefully I'll show you success. Okay, we have success. So that little trick worked, and I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side. Okay, on this side here, it was a little bit more trickier to do because of the proximity to the radio, but we got it in using that same technique. So it worked out really great. Okay, next we have these strap hooks, and we have 3 of them, and we're going to put them into on the back of the Jeep, and they're going to go into here, here, and on the far right of the Jeep, right here. Going to go in just like that. And we're going to secure those in with 2 EM screws. Okay, we're getting the second screw in here for the one on the left. And then we'll start working on the middle one, and then we'll do the far right. And here's the last one going in. Get that one started. Now I am dipping these screws into oil just so that you know. The oil that I use is 3-in-1 oil. I've seen people use Vaseline, I've even seen one person use cooking oil. But it does help to cut the screws into the holes where they need to go. There might be some paint in the screw holes, and it just makes your life a little bit easier if you put just a little bit of oil on your screws. Okay, we have all of our straps now attached to the back of the Jeep, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, in pack 72, looks like the only thing we need to do is to attach these metal handrails on the side of the Jeep. Okay, now this metal handrail we're going to put on both sides, on the left and on the right of the Jeep, and it's going to go right in this area here. There are two locating lugs which are going to go into this hole here. We're going to attach it just like that, and we're going to attach that with 2 SM screws. And then on the back of the Jeep, right over here on the corner here, we'll take this metal handrail, we'll put it into this screw hole here, and there's one here on the side, just like that, and we'll secure those in with 2 DM screws. And these SM screws are real tiny. So we're going to dip those in oil and put them right in there. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And those handles are now installed on the right side. And we'll turn the Jeep around and show you the left side. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, on stage 73, it looks like we're going to be working on the rear lights. Okay, what we have is these 4 reflectors, and they're going to go on the back of the Jeep right here on these 3 holes that you see right here. The 2 lugs on the back are going to go into the top and bottom hole, so it's going to go on like this, and we're going to secure that in with an XM screw, and we're going to do that on the right and on the left of the Jeep. Now in my kit, they only gave me 2 XM screws, and the reflectors that are going to go on the side of the Jeep use a VM screw, and they gave me 4 of those. So I don't know if I got 2 extra VMs, or maybe I've got an extra XM screw in there, because they both look exactly the same. But it is the XM screws that are going to be screwed in to secure this light here, or reflector, on the back of the Jeep. Okay, next we're going to put these plastic lens covers on top of these reflectors. Okay, these reflectors have a little lug that's pointed out there on the side, and that little lug is going to go into the hole that you see right there. So it's going to go into this hole right there. Just going to make sure that's lined up properly. Okay, that was a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, but that's the reflector in, and we're going to do that on all the reflectors that are going to go on the back of this Jeep. Okay, that's how they look when they're both in. Now I'm going to do the ones that go onto the side. Okay, and there's the side reflector on. Getting those little red reflectors to go in is a little bit harder than it really needed to be. You have to do a lot of fiddling around with it to try to align that lug up to that hole that's on that reflector plate. But no glue is really needed on that. These things, once they're in, I mean, they're in, and there's no way that they're going to come out. They're pretty firm and solid in there. So I didn't put any glue on those. If you do want to use glue, use Micro Krystal Klear, because that will dry really, really clear, and it will not fog up those lights or those lenses. So that's the one that's on the left, and that's the one that's on the right, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, in stage 74, we start to work on the electrical outlet that goes on the outside of the Jeep and a couple of lights. Okay, the first thing that we want to do is assemble the electrical outlet cover. And it comes in two pieces. This piece here, which has a screw hole on both sides, it's going to go into this piece right down in here. It's going to fit in just like that. And then through that hole right there, we're going to fix that in with two KP screws. Now the KP screws are really, really tiny screws. And I'm using my PH 000 screwdriver. But to give you an idea of how small these screws are, this is my PH1 screwdriver right next to it. So they're very, very tiny, and you are going to need a magnifying glass to help you get this in. Now the instructions indicate that this is going to be held in by two KP screws, one on that side, but you can see on this side there's not a screw hole. So either my part is wrong or the instructions are incorrect. But we'll see once we get this in. I wish I could tell you that was easy, but it wasn't. I had to drill a hole on the other side in order to get the hinge to work, but that does move out and back a little. That was not easy to do. It took quite a lot of fiddling to do it, and I did have to use a micro drill bit, which is a 1.2 millimeter bit, and I will put a link in the descriptions on where I got this. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our Jeep like this. Then on the back of the Jeep right here between these two holes, we're going to put this right there, and we're going to fix that in with two EM screws. And there that is installed. Okay, next we have our tail lights. So we have this red lens that goes into this tail light here. And then we have this lens, or this housing, that's going to go into this white lens right there. So it's going to look just like that. Okay, this is going to go on the right side of the Jeep, and this is going to go on the left side of the Jeep. And these are just push to fit. So we're going to bring our Jeep over. We're going to put them in right in here. So I'm going to take this red lens right here and just push the fit into the socket right there. Just like that. We're going to go over here to the right and match up our lugs. Just push that right in to fit. And there they are. There's the left, and there's the right. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So on stage 75, which is the last stage of this pack, we're going to assemble the gas tank. And I believe we're going to put it on the Jeep. So let's get these parts out. And the first thing that we want is the gas can itself, and this is all plastic. We're going to fit it in just like these two lug holes are going to go through, or these two lugs are going to go through these two lug holes right there. I'm going to marry that together, and we're going to secure that in with two JP screws. So that's one going in there, JP screw in this hole here. Get those all nice and tight. Okay, that's it. That's the gas tank. Okay, next what we want to do is we want to take this part right here, and this is just a push to fit. This lug, these two lugs right here, going to go into those two holes right like that. This is going to go on just like that, and push that down so it's seated in nice and firm. And then we take our gas cap, we do the same thing, we just push that right into place. And that's our gas tank. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to bring our Jeep over like this. We're going to take this gas can bracket and we're going to match up these two holes right here with the two holes that are right here on the back of the Jeep. We're going just like that, and we're going to secure that in with two WM screws. Okay, I got my screwdriver loaded up. Now the camera is slightly in my way, so I may not be able to do this on camera. Get that in. Not too tight because I want to line up the other hole. Now, because WM ends in M, which stands for metal, I am putting some oil on these screws. And there goes the second one. And then make the other side a little bit tighter. Okay, then we take our gas can, and these two lugs under the gas can right here are going to go into the two lugs that are on that shelf or that bracket. Push that in, locks it in place, and there you have it. We have our, zoom back out a little bit so you can see, we have our gas can installed. And that's all there is to do in that stage, and that's all there is to do in that pack. Now, I put a link in the descriptions and a QR code on screen that will take you right on over to iXO Collections if you want to get this for yourself. I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, as this does help the channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon, as that not only helps the channel, but will notify you of new videos that have been posted. Other than that, always have fun in your garage, your workshop, or wherever it is you build your models. And until next time, thanks for watching.